And the reason why I had to put in that disclaimer is because a lot of people will just get so defensive nowadays, yet not drive defensively. But at the same time, I believe tons more will definitely agree with what I have to say.
Now, as you could tell from the expression or couldn't on the YouTube thumbnail, it was that of frustration. So I'm going to tell you what irks me the most about driving in Singapore. And by the way, this isn't my car, I wish it were. And yeah, oh well.
With that said, let's drive on. Literally. Oh, can't forget my seatbelt. Yeah, don't want to get fined. So I've driven around in other countries such as Malaysia, Thailand, and Japan. And in case you didn't know, here's my video about me and my girlfriend driving around in Hokkaido. It's more of a travel style video. But I'm just going to state the situation that's happening in Singapore. Point number one, the elephant in the room. Driving or owning a car in Singapore is expensive. Who do we compare it to? I mean, no two countries are the same, but I believe the dollar signs will tell it all. Let's start with the thing which is one of the main components of today's video. The car, obviously, because you can't drive without it, and we can't have today's video topic. Now, romanticized cars are sort of an expression of freedom. You step on the gas and just go wherever the road takes you with the wind in your hair, and it embodies your will to just do whatever you want at any time, go wherever you want, whenever you want, whatever, you know. But firstly, you have to purchase said vehicle. And the industry standard of comparison, I believe, is a Toyota Prius. And by luck, today I'm not driving a Prius, but it's a Toyota. Now, before you can even put your foot on the pedal, you're going to have to fork out a whopping SGD $105,000 first. On top of that, it would include a license for your car, or in this case, a certificate of entitlement that lasts 10 years. That's right, folks. You're only entitled to drive the car for 10 years, but thereafter, you have an option of purchasing the certificate again for as little as $1 or as much as $50,000. And the reason why there's such a variation of the prices, and to keep it simple, is simply because of supply and demand. Now, this dictates and thus would determine the certificate prices. Just know the gist of it is that more cars on the road equals more expensive certificates. All of this is for obvious reasons, and the main one, which of course is to prevent traffic jams and gridlocks, which of course, you know, makes sense. Oh yeah, there's also the yearly road tax, and the amount depends on the size or the engine capacity of the car. And to add on to the expenses of driving in Singapore, petrol prices are one of the most expensive in the world. Oh, let's add on something else, the electronic road pricing. Basically, each car has a small in-vehicle unit, and in this unit you can insert your cash card, which you can top up at any petrol station or ATM. And every time you drive into the city or drive onto expressways at certain times, bada bing bada boom, ching, your money gets deducted. Now, this unit can also be used in most car parks as well. In fact, 99% throughout the island. I'm not even touching maintenance and such. That's up to individuals if you want to maintain your car properly or soup it up. But on top of all this, there's the yearly inspection after buying a new car, and that's only after the 5th year of the car. So selling my kidneys would not even come close to buying the certificate of entitlement, or yet alone own a Prius. Now, renting one isn't much cheaper as well. And unlike my generation or my father's generation, who could afford to own a car without thinking too much about it, doing so nowadays is way out of most people's league. And for your information, I don't own a car anymore. The certificate expired, and it didn't make sense to fork out the $50,000, $60,000. So moving on to point 2. So moving on to point 2. If and somehow you do manage to own a car in Singapore, you struck gold or created an app online that's worth millions of dollars, good for you. The second thing that irks me is the driving habits of most drivers in Singapore. We're a pretty stressed up country. You won't see many people smiling. So imagine the same sort of people behind the wheel. Most drivers are aggressive and defensive in nature, but not in their driving in that sense, defensive. Too many times have I seen drivers not signaling when changing lanes, or they abruptly change lanes with one flicker of the switch. And to them, that's signaling. Oh, and if you do signal, be prepared for the cars in front, behind, beside, not to give way.
Hey, what are you doing here? Come on, give away! Hey, why am I Italian? I don't know, I'm stressed.
Like whenever you do signal, cars magically just drive faster or block you, like as if they see you as prey, or you're weak, or it's an opening for themselves. Drivers in Singapore also tend to tailgate really close, and they also high beam a lot.
Oi, this isn't your grandfather's road, oi!
Now, put all this together on the roads after a stressful day of work, and it's a recipe for disaster. Now, there have been tons of instances of road rage and drivers showing their displeasure with the international unhappiness sign.
I'm gonna show you the finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know which finger because I'm too polite.
And some of them even come out of their vehicles just to argue, even when they're in the freaking wrong. Now, it happens a lot in car parks too. A lot of times people cut you off, just drive into your lot, or send out their passengers to actually physically block the lot for them even though you were waiting for the lot. And they can act like as if nothing was wrong, like killing somebody was acceptable. It's like the whole conundrum of the 3 passengers in a plane situation. People know that the person in the middle has dibs over the armrest while the people at the side lean over more to where they are. Of course, the middle person shall not put their elbows further than the space of the armrest. And you get to see it a lot on social media as well. It gets dangerous, especially for pedestrians who have the right of way crossing a proper pedestrian crossing, and for drivers who have this selfish, entitled mentality. Again, many drivers have failed to give way, or worse, knock down pedestrians. And do take note, the authorities are pretty strict with drink driving, speeding, driving recklessly, etc. It's quite easy to get a fine or worse, jail time, because besides the traffic police, if another car driver's safety camera records you committing a traffic violation, example you cut into their path, they can submit the footage and lodge a report against you easily online.
Prim and proper's driving safety tips.
Imagine everyone around you was your mother, not your mother-in-law.
But again, it's all not doom and gloom. On the bright side, if you can't afford owning a car, taxis and public transportation are relatively cheap and pretty efficient.
Except when the taxi driver starts talking or playing loud music non-stop, or when you're in a bus or train and people are just talking loudly or playing music on their phones without a headphone.
But I guess that's another video for another time. Okay, like or dislike this video, either way, it doesn't matter because liking it means you're a good driver. And my friend, disliking it just means you're a bad driver. Take care and drive safely. Don't drive like a stressed up person. Oi, don't cut my bump! Oi! Forget you! Oi, this isn't your grandfather's road! Oi! Oh, you wanna cut me off, huh? You wanna not signal, huh? I'll show you. I'll signal like that. And then wait, because people will always block me now and they won't give way. You freaking stop tailgating me, what the Alright, give me some personal space here, it's COVID-19 time, huh? Social awareness. Yeah, I think that doesn't apply to cars.